Hi, I'm Professor Beck Strah.
And I'm producer Brit.
And I'm Media Consultant Spenser Hodge. This is Prison Breakdown.
2, 3, break!
Hate to spoil his fun, but we're gonna bust out of here.
2, 3, break!
I'm locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
2, 3, break!
I can honestly say I'm a changed man. No danger to society here. God's honest truth.
2, 3, break!
I'm not leaving this cell. I'll get out my way. The right way.
2, 3, break!
Ahoy, dudes. Welcome back to another beefy episode of Prison Breakdown. Today, I am joined by the producer.
Hello. Hi.
Beautiful tones.
I'm Brit. I produce this show. And co-host when we're visited by the ghost of Eric Bronson, Professor Eric Bronson.
Who is the ghost of Professor Eric Bronson currently inhabiting today?
I'm sorry, do you think when you die, do you still keep your credentials? Like, can you put like Professor Beck Strah on your headstone? Does anyone put
snooty
like,
would that be?
Yeah, does anyone put like doctor, like, right?
That's some loser shit.
Right. Putting your fucking job on your headstone. Like accountants.
It worked.
No, these days, the only thing you should put on your headstone is how many followers you had when you died.
True. Very true.
My favorite headstone of all time was in the Anchorage Cemetery, and it had a picture of a boat, a dog, a cat, and an RV on it. And I've thought about it many times since I left there. It's just have things you liked put on your grave. Why not?
It's a mood board.
Yeah, or maybe that's telling the story of how they died for future generations. Like a boat crashed into, like a dog and a cat were on a boat and they crashed it into an RV somehow. And
are you suggesting they're driving the boat?
Yes. The cat was driving the boat. The dog was driving the RV. I don't know how it happened, but they amphibiously crashed. It's the first amphibious maritime and road crash of all time.
Done by two four-legged mammals.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. I think maybe a swamp would accommodate something like that.
Sure.
Well, today we gather here with a media expert named Spenser.
Hey, that's me. I'm here again. I'm back.
Yes, making a repeat appearance after you loved his Mean Guns episode. And you hated that movie.
It's more of a repeat offense, honestly.
Yeah. So as producer, I go through all the emails. I have access to the email account and all the social media, and the amount of people who told us they really wanted Spenser back was zero. But we have him anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm the best you can afford. So
backed by popular demand because he's a media expert, and
backed by lack of popular demand.
I believe Spenser has I looked earlier today to be able to boost his Instagram account. Your Instagram account is New Metal KVLT, I believe.
Yes.
And I believe there's like 21,000 followers.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a healthy amount for a meme post man like yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's say sure.
There's a lot with a lot less.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I went to PhD with a girl who I think she moved out to the country and became a trad wife influencer.
Oh no.
And I was told about her by some former colleagues, and every trad wife post is like how to take last minute pictures of your kid for insert holiday here, and then it's like a cardboard cutout where you introduce like flowers or candy corn or something wasteful, and then take a picture of your kid laying in it. And I don't get it. 75,000 followers, and Spenser, I think you have something to aspire to.
I almost got there before with my old page that got banned. I got up to like 67, I think. So that's my best run so far, but we can always top it.
I don't know why you would go for a PhD then decide to be a tradwife influencer, but that's not for me to determine.
Yeah. Pretty heckin' dumb, if you ask me.
Pretty heckin' dumb.
I agree.
That's what her PhD stands for.
Yeah. Shut up.
Spencer, thank you. This is why we have you back. I'm going to draft an email in retrospect and send it to myself.
There it is. Yeah. I have a lot of email aliases. I can gin up some fake ones.
Well, shall we get into it? Today, we're gathered to talk about a man named Jared Fogel. And we know him best as the Subway guy.
That's what anybody knows him for.
Before we get to talking about him, I want to ask you two a question. Do you think you could take Jared Fogel in a fight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Like I could fuck up the Fogel.
Oh yeah.
He seems like a wimp, right?
He really does.
Has always seemed like a wimp. And
He's a man who only eats Subway sandwiches. Like, how strong can he be?
Right.
There's
not that much
like bread.
You can't get a sandwich unless you get like a triple meatball with lunch meat on it. You can't get that much protein in one of those things.
I mean, and also like the bread has so much sugar in it that it can't legally be called bread.
Right.
What
So
do they call it? Top and bottom?
sure.
Baked products. It's I think they can legally call it Subway bread.
Speaking of Jared Fogel's appearance, I know we're going to get into this, but like for research for this episode, I was watching an episode of Dr. Phil where they talk about Jared Fogel, and he starts the episode being like, "It's always the ones you least suspect." And then it shows a picture of Jared Fogel. And I'm like, no, dude, that is like exactly the kind of guy I would expect. Like 100,000%. Like you look at him now and you're like, how did we not know?
So by his own admission, like when he was younger in college, he used to rent porn tapes out of his dormitory, which is like great for the entrepreneurial spirit or whatever, but like that's the creepiest thing you can possibly do in college is be like the porn guy.
I mean, that was also when he was fat too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He was the video store though, right? Like people would come to him to rent. He was the Blockbuster.
Yeah, or the Hollywood Video to be more precise.
He was the beaded curtain area.
He was, yeah.
So let's go around and talk about what's your knowledge, like what is your experience of Jared from Subway?
Well, Jared was a huge inspiration to me because, as you both know, as a former fat, before the allegations came out, I was like, hey, if Jared could do it, maybe I could too. And so I ate nothing but Subway for 4 months, and I had diarrhea.
you have a diarrhea.
Great story. Great, very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
The only thing I lost was a lot of money to Subway.
Dignity too.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of dignity as well.
Yeah, my natural body odor. I now smell like Subway bread at all times.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Which flavor?
The Italian herbs and cheese.
Yeah, that's the best one.
It is definitely the best. Yeah, it's very good.
You can't deny it.
No, I mean, so like growing up, right? I remember when the commercials came out, and to be honest, and this is something that like I also learned through my research here, but like it felt like the Jared stuff was a massive boon for Subway at the time, and apparently it was, but it felt like the pre-Subway, or sorry, the pre-Jared era and the post-Jared era of Subway, it felt like a totally different company once the Jared stuff started happening. Like it blew up in a way that was pretty significant, and even a child at the time noticed. So it felt like a major cultural thing. You're seeing that guy everywhere. And I don't know why
you're
we
seeing
were
his
also
pants
obsessed with him.
everywhere. Like the pants image is iconic.
Oh, it sure is.
yeah.
Sure
He
is.
holding
yeah.
old pants next to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell the listener, if for anyone at all that somehow missed this cultural icon of Jared, what is the pants iconic?
Okay, so he has a size 62 pair of pants that he would bring around with him to speaking events and use in the commercials as a demonstration that he used to be much heavier than he is now. Apparently, he lost 245 pounds over the course of, I think, a year or 2 years, something like that. And he attributed that to like eating veggie subs from Subway and walking a lot.
I believe it was every day he would eat one turkey sub 6-inch and then one veggie sub 12-inch, I want to say, for dinner.
Something like that, yeah.
Something I find interesting is that iconic image of him down to like, I don't know, size 30 pants, holding up the size 62 pants. It's an iconic image. And in grad school, my roommate and I spent a couple hours one afternoon searching the internet trying to find a photo of anyone with a tattoo of Jared holding his pants up. No one has, to the best of my knowledge, there's nobody out there with a tattoo of Jared from Subway holding his pants up.
I figured out my next tattoo.
I sure hope not, after we've learned what we learned about Jared Fogel.
But even pre that, like you would think that somebody had a Jared from Subway photo. Now, let's talk about some Jared facts. Jared, born in 1977, he made his fame from dieting on Subway sandwiches, and from 1999 to 2015, Jared was a spokesman for the international restaurant chain of Subway. Now he's a disgraced former Subway hero and a man known.
Hero is a strong word. Hero is a strong word.
Hero. He's a hero to the corporation of Subway.
He's a hero
fair.
of capitalism. Like he was a person who like made an outsized profit for them based on what they actually had to spend on him because he came organically and he wasn't like a celebrity they had to pay a lot to. Like over time, I'm sure they had to pay him more and more. But
they sure did.
As his profile grew, if you will, and his waist shrank as well. But
so in present day, I would argue he's a man known as much for his sex crimes as his sandwich activism.
Absolutely.
Sandwich activism, you call it?
I know. I wasn't going to call it out, but I did think it was funny.
He's like out there with signs, like
activism.
He's organizing unions on sandwich basis. Like
he was organizing the Subway artists.
Us French dip guys and us Reuben guys, we need to get together. There's too much infighting. One struggle, one fight.
These are two sandwiches that Subway has never had.
I know.
We don't even serve those.
But the guys with the accent that I use, that's their favorite sandwich.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys who talk like this don't go to Subway and love it.
Actually, that's a lie. When you're at Subway, you know you're eating fresh.
That's true.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got confused.
I know you conflated. I'm loving it from McDonald's.
I know. I messed it up.
You've been brain poisoned by corporations, Spencer.
It's true. It's true.
Advertising has ruined us.
Yes.
For the upcoming episode, I get that Jared is an easy target. I want to tell this in a way that avoids punching down or taking the easy jokes. So far we've been good on the not easy jokes.
Right.
It's an interesting story though, and it's important that we relate this so we can offer some insight to our listening audience.
Right. And the other thing that I found while researching Jared and his history was just that, like, to be completely honest, like, out of context, yes, it is funny to make fun of Jared Fogel, but like when you read about like what he actually did and said, it becomes much less funny and extremely dark and extremely horrible. So it's honestly kind of hard to poke too much fun at it at this point, because it's just like, damn, dude, I'm glad he's in prison.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
true predator. Like he's a bad
He's a
person.
bad person.
Yeah.
I want to ask you too as well. Did either of you watch the documentary, the HBO documentary, Jared from Subway Catching a Monster?
No, but I wanted to. I did look at it.
It's one of the more frustrating documentaries I've ever tried to watch, where it is it's the most annoying people talking to the camera. Jared is almost like a secondhand subject to the documentary. Mm-hmm. It's mostly this like radio journalist who smokes 3 packs a day, who's talking at you about he's such a creep. He was talking to me about
that's the kind of guy who eats a Reuben or a French dip. Yeah. That's one of those guys.
One of those guys.
French dips.
Yeah. I didn't watch that one. I did watch the Dr. Phil episode where they play the audio tapes taken during the FBI investigation, where you get to hear him say the stuff, which is horrible. I don't recommend watching it. I mean, mostly just due to like content, but it is, and it's also annoyingly edited. I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Dr. Phil before this, and I was like, ooh, is it always like this? Probably. But yeah, those audio clips, not great.
Oh, so he incriminated himself through it. We'll talk more about that when we get to his crimes. But let's start with this story. I'm going to skip the early life stuff because it's who cares. But Jared was a student at Indiana University, and he's a super beefy dude. He's weighing in at 425 pounds. And allegedly, by age 20, the dude was consuming 10,000 calories a day. And of course, like anyone who consumes that much food, we have his menu here. So for breakfast, Jared would eat 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches with a large hash browns, a large coffee with cream, and 10 packets of sugar. Now,
oh my God,
what would you two feel like consuming that coffee?
I feel like I was no, that's not working. Never mind. My soundboard is failing me right now.
I think I would feel sick. Is what I would feel like.
I think it would make me crazy. I would feel crazy every day eating something like that, drinking that. Mm-hmm. So for lunch, Jared would eat an entire pizza. It doesn't say what kind of pizza.
What size of pizza, though?
Was it a medium pizza?
Yeah.
A medium meat lover's pizza? I think I'm onto something.
We know
Listen
that it
to
was
last
extra
episode.
meat, extra cheese, followed by dessert.
Oh, wow.
Mid-afternoon snack, he would eat 2 large bean burritos with cheese. And then for dinner, he would take 3 trips to the Chinese buffet and have ice cream for dessert.
Oh my God.
This is his alleged diet, according to CBS News. But do we think he actually ate at a Chinese buffet every day?
Yes.
Imagine like coming into a Chinese buffet and you're just like, just the regular, thanks, and sit down and just start eating. Like,
is there the regular at a buffet?
Yeah, it's the buffet. That's the only thing they serve there is the whole buffet. Like,
when was the last time you guys saw a buffet happening? Like post-COVID?
They exist here.
I went to one for my birthday 2 years ago, and it was okay.
Yeah. I haven't been to one in a minute.
They got to exist in Texas.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, there is a lot of golden corrals around here, I guess. So that's probably, I imagine they're still buffet style.
Yep, they are. I watched a video on them a couple of days ago.
Quality for quantity is the problem. Sorry, Brit, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all
you
good.
watched the video on them. What can you tell us about the recent buffet? What's our recent buffet?
So the quality apparently in Golden Corral is like gone down significantly. Like people complain a lot about like cold food and like unfresh dishes and just like really just like low quality food, which is to be expected. Like I don't know if you heard, but Cisco, the food distributor, just bought out like
not Thong Song.
Huh?
Not Thong Song?
Huh?
Not Thong Song.
Not that Cisco.
No, not that Cisco.
Not the Cisco systems.
SYSCO. Sorry, not SISKO.
Yeah. So not the router guys either.
No, different fellas. So food distributor Cisco just bought out like some of their biggest competition, which means that all food that's going to restaurants now, basically, unless it's like local stuff, is going to be like incredibly homogenized, and food in restaurants is going to get worse as a result.
Well, that's quite the bummer.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I wasn't finished. I got to tell you.
Keep going.
Jared had a late night snack. Mm-hmm. Every night.
Fuck.
He would have a hamburger.
A fourth meal?
And a dessert.
He was living moss.
He should have coined it for Subway before Taco Bell took it.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it was probably like his 11th meal of the day. Like to be like in terms of like calories, like 300 or more calories. Like he was doing that so many times at this point.
Constantly. And I should also include he also downed at least 15 cans of full sugar soda every day, Mountain Dew being his favorite.
Oh God, I can't even imagine.
When I was in high school, the food was so awful in the cafeteria. Like, so my lunch every day was one of two things. It was either one slice of pepperoni pizza or 2 corn dogs.
Yeah.
And both of those came with a 32 ounce Mountain Dew. And it was like,
they came with it. It was a package deal.
Yeah, it was like $2.50.
Like they wouldn't let you have any other beverage. They're just like, it's the corn dogs and pizza come with Mountain Dew. Everything else you can get what you want.
Fountain. They had a fountain. They had a soda fountain. And you could pick what you wanted, but you couldn't fill up your own drink. So they filled it up for you. And I would always pick Mountain Dew. But yeah, I think about this sometimes. Like as an adult man, I could never eat that for lunch. It's insane. But like as a kid, every single day I drank a 32 ounce of Mountain Dew. And then I went home and drank more Mountain Dew. It was crazy, man. The early 2000s were just awful for food and health.
Yeah.
It's like they want you to feel terrible is what this cafeteria food says to me.
Yes.
So for old Jared, when you consume 10,000 calories every day, you don't feel so good. And Jared had trouble finding places to sit in college classrooms. And he would have to catch his breath walking across campus. And he would take a 45-minute bus ride across campus to avoid walking to class from his dorm. And keep in mind, his class was only a 5-minute walk from his dorm. He just didn't want to walk, so he took the 45-minute bus. And as a college junior, the dude developed sleep apnea from obesity. And according to USA Today, it was because the fat around his neck was obstructing his windpipe. So he got so tired from lack of sleep that one day he racks out at the wheel and he wakes up in a ditch. And it made him go nuclear. And so he started dieting. And you know what kind of diet he tried? He tried the Subway diet. According to lore on this topic, Jared read a nutritional brochure at the Subway by his house. And he started skipping breakfast. And so he would have 2 subs every day. He would have a small turkey and a large veggie, along with a diet soda and some baked potato chips. His diet said no snacking between meals. And after 3 months, he lost 94 pounds. And he started walking to all of his classes finally. And in a year, he lost 245 pounds. He dropped from 425 to 190 pounds. That is so drastic for
that's
1 year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he starts to draw some attention and gets discovered through a Chicago ad agency when he was in the student newspaper, and these like before and after photos, which it was 245 pounds he lost. Yes, that's quite a lot. So he gets a job with Subway, traveling across the country for speaking engagements. And what do you think he brought with him to those speaking engagements?
Those big old pants.
Big old pants. Brit, can you make a big old pants song for this one?
I can do like a
Give me them pants.
Big old pants.
Yeah.
So as we stated, nobody has a tattoo of Jared holding up his fat pants. But Subway's marketing chief accredited somewhere between 1/3 and half of Subway's growth from 1999 to 2013 happened because of Jared.
I believe that.
So attributing that much of a like multi-billion-dollar franchise, I'm sure, to a fat man becoming a thin man and holding up his pants, that's, if you think about that, that's quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Pants are a powerful symbol. They always have been.
The visualization of it does have an effect on you. You think,
it sure does.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can eat at Subway. I like Subway enough to eat it multiple times a week if I'm going to lose 245 pounds in a year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people saw that image and said, I guess it's edible.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I felt about it as a kid. Subway was never like one of my favorite places to go.
Honestly, it was always my favorite place to go because like our parents didn't let us eat red meat at all. And so like they had, you know, like it was either fish or chicken, and they had one of the best fish things anywhere, which was the like imitation crab salad. That was so good. They used to have that at every Subway, and they've slowly taken it out of stores, which is sad. But it's one of my favorite things Subway has. Yeah.
That one and their tuna is pretty good too. Also
fine.
full of mayonnaise, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
They're always too heavy on the mayonnaise. That's my biggest Subway criticism. Like anytime I would go to Subway and be like, "Hey, mayonnaise, light on the mayonnaise," they would still be like just
until it's
absolutely
like just
blast the sandwich with fucking mayonnaise.
Michelle's just like farting, and then they hit it on the counter a couple times.
They smack it on the counter a bit. Squirt a bit more, and I'm like, dude, you don't need to go back for seconds. And he goes back for thirds, another line of mayonnaise, and you're like, damn, dog. Like, can I have some sandwich with my mayonnaise?
You got Seinfelded.
Yeah, I did.
So there's something pathological about his type of diet, though, of going to Subway, like inventing a diet on your own. I don't think he was advised on by any physician. I could find nothing about that. And he invented this diet and lost a lot of weight in a very short amount of time.
Right.
But eating the exact same thing every day, it's like, okay, it's fine. But there's something like weird there already. That there's tuned into.
There's something weird about like how much food he was eating before that too. Like it's clear he was like overeating. Like he did not need to be consuming
10,000 calories a day is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, like that's a lot.
That's 4 or 5 people worth of food a day. Like,
he lost 245 pounds. I don't even weigh 245 pounds.
Right?
I'm 6'1", and I don't weigh 245 pounds. Like, that's a lot. He lost more weight than I am. And that's great. I'm like not a super tiny man. That's crazy.
No. So let's talk more about Jared here. He starred in over 300 Subway TV commercials, including Super Bowl ads. He wrote an autobiographical book for those interested. He started the Jared Foundation, a nonprofit focused on raising awareness around childhood obesity using educational programs. And he became a motivational speaker. What do you think he charged for motivational speaking appearances?
Oh gosh,
$25K.
At his height, $75K.
Yeah, it is higher, but yeah, I would say average $25K.
He was like a 5,000 to 10,000 kind of guy for personal appearances.
Less than Snoop Dogg. That Snoop Dogg money is Jared Fogel money.
Now listen, we our budget can only get us one of these two guys. We got to pick one of them. We've got Jared from Subway, and we've got Snoop Dogg. Who are we going with, guys?
There's no middle ground between Jared from Subway and Snoop Dogg. I want to quote Jared here. It's a really bizarre circumstance. I say, only in America can this happen. I still reflect, I'm almost in a fairy tale. I also want to quote Joanne Hatner, a nutrition consultant with Stanford University Medical School, with a quote that aged very poorly. Ms. Hatner said, Jared is a hero. He's not a cartoon character. He's real.
Okay, that's a funny quote.
I mean, she's not wrong. He is real.
She's not wrong.
I mean, well, he is not a hero, but he's real.
Well, he's a Subway hero. I mean, we did talk about
a hero is a Subway technically. So
yeah,
right.
That's true.
If we're getting into sandwich technicalities.
Let me put it out here for you two. Like, when we get into sandwich technicalities, we have the sandwich that is called a sub. It's called a grinder. It's called a blimpie.
It's called a hoagie.
A hero.
A hero. What's your favorite term for
I like hoagie.
Hoagie. Yeah, hoagie for sure.
Good. Yeah.
I think hoagie is the most like appealing one. Like that's the one that sounds the most like. Actually, I want that.
You know what I like the best? Sando.
Oh yeah, Sando's good.
Sando's good. That's just a sandwich. It's a sando. You know, it's my least favorite one easily. Every day of the week is Sammy. Or actually sandwich. You're using the exact same amount of like letters and just like
dungeon. Like send them to the dungeon. That's unacceptable. Straight to jail.
This is the same person who would say like, "I'm going to the library to get edumacated." It's like my least favorite joke in history when somebody says that.
My cousin,
or when people say saxophone.
Yeah.
Makes me
these are also
the gun real hard when people start talking like that.
These are also the people who are like, my cousin committed suicide, frowny face.
And shit like, you win the internet for today, sir.
I was today years old when I learned.
Oh yeah, this lives rent free in my head. Oh my god.
All right, well, welcome to the Shitting on Reddit podcast.
Yeah. This is very anti-Reddit. What we're talking about here.
Let's move on to the dark part of the story. In 2007, Jared comes to the attention of the FBI after noted radio host Rochelle Herman Walrond goes to the authorities. She had been partnered with Jared Fogel at a middle school in Sarasota, Florida, for some sort of speaking event, and he's making inappropriate comments there about middle school girls. So Rochelle, she befriends Jared as part of a federal investigation and gets him recorded saying he had sex with underage girls and asked her to install a webcam in a kid's room so he could watch kids.
So these tapes were the ones that they played on that Dr. Phil episode that I watched. And yeah, he really does say that shit, and it's horrifying. It's not cool at all. Not good.
He's a fucking freak, dude. This guy. In 2008, he's also in a sexual relationship with Subway franchisee named Cindy Mills. And he's texting her about sexually abusing children aged 9 to 16. And he asked Cindy to arrange for him to have sex with her 16-year-old cousin. And Cindy Mills claims her lawyer claims that she contacted Subway corporate about all these weird texts, and corporate said, "Nah, he's not an actual employee, so there's no violation there."
What?
So I saw this, and this is the most corporate thing imaginable. It sucks.
This is the most like HR. I didn't see anything kind of attitude. This is the most
awful.
Like
this guy's making us too much money. I don't care what he does.
Right.
Response possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's abhorrent. It's
truly,
which is like why. Like I mean, honestly, like that guy for turning the blind eye, he should go to jail.
I completely agree.
Not for long, but he should go to jail. Like
he should be punished.
He should be taught. Like his life should be changed because he's a piece of shit. And capitalism is more important to him than people's lives.
The HR rep allowed it to continue, right? Like if there was an intervention, less people get hurt, and then this guy could have been a hero, like that person said about Jared.
Right.
He could have been a real hero. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A hero in the Josie Scott and Chad Kroger kind of way, you know?
Yes. We need a hero to save us. From the
Spider-Man original soundtrack.
I'm not going to stand here and wait.
Exactly.
I fly on the wings of a hero, watching us all fly away.
Yeah. That could have been about
Subway representatives. This guy. The HR representatives from Subway, they're like, we have no record of these allegations, but the FBI did get the text from Cindy Mills, the franchisee, through a subpoena. And so that happened in 2008. And let's cut forward time to his arrest.
Well, so actually, I have some stuff in my research that happened in 2008. Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to talk about it later?
Honestly, would love to talk about it now. Let's jump to it. What can you tell us?
All right. So in 2008, Jared was part of something called the Tour de Pants. Okay. And this was a 10-year anniversary tour that he did about, his 10 years working for Subway.
He was not an employee of Subway. He worked with Subway.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. His contractual whatever contractual arrangement with Subway, 10-year anniversary of that. And so he's doing this tour called Tour of the Pants. And the most important part about this is that after this tour, allegedly, he's going to retire the pants. Okay. And so that's the part that I found really, really interesting, because you see, when Jared decided that he wanted to retire the pants, a big thing about retiring the pants was that he was going to donate them to a museum. Okay.
Smithsonian wants his.
Yeah, right. So the pants were allegedly going to be donated to something called the Advertising Icon Museum, which is a real place that still allegedly exists, even though it looks like their website has not been updated in 20 years. So it's like, seriously, when you look at the website, it's like it looks straight out of the 90s or like early 2000s. It's very, very bad. But anyways, so I went to their website because I was like, dude, I want to know what happened to the pants. Like, allegedly, he donated these to this museum in 2008. And so let's see if there's anything about him on their website. So I scrubbed their website. No mention of Jared on the website. Interestingly, though, in their like about us part, they talk about what they consider to be an quote unquote advertising icon and what qualifies to be in the museum. And so interestingly, they mention things like the Jolly Green Giant and Aunt Jemima and Betty Crocker as examples of things that of quote unquote advertising icons. Now, what they claim is not an advertising icon and does not qualify for the museum is something like Paul Newman, though, because even though he was featured on the packaging, he was a real person and who had a real career outside of advertising. So he doesn't qualify, which I think the same rules could be applied to Jared Fogel. Like, I think it's interesting that like Fogel at one point like qualified for this, but Paul Newman doesn't. Like, that seems unnecessarily like specific, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. So
is Betty Crocker not a real person?
Apparently not. I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure. I just saw her mention on the Advertising Icon Museum's website. Anyways, so the museum, even though it allegedly still exists, is not open to the public. Their website says that they're open by appointment only.
What?
It doesn't
imagine making an appointment with the advertising icon. You're like,
well, so. The best part, well, so that's the thing. When you look at their pictures on the website, you can clearly see that it is one room, and it is just like one room with some shelves. It's literally like a collection that's like in somebody's house, probably.
So those pants would have been like half of the size of the collection.
Honestly, they would have been big on the display. So what I did is I scrubbed through all the pictures. I scrubbed through all of the pages on the website. There is no mention of Jared Fogel. So at this point in time, I'm unable to confirm whether or not the pants were actually donated, and I'm unable to confirm where the pants are now, even though I looked. So I wanted to keep you informed of that. There's also one other thing that's important to mention here. In 2008, there was another thing that happened with Jared Fogel. He got his own Upper Deck baseball card release.
What?
Yes. So this was given away as part of the Tour de Pants tour. And the versions of that still exist because he signed them at the event. Like, that was a big part of the event, was signing these baseball cards. And so if you're not familiar, Upper Deck is like the premier like baseball card company. So it's very legit. I mean, they're like, when you're talking baseball cards, you're talking Upper Deck, right? And so this is the real deal. I was only able to find one example for sale right now on eBay. It is graded as a 9.0, I believe, and it is like sealed in a plastic case, and it is signed by Jared, and it is currently for sale. Buy it now for $2,000. And it had 27 views today, including me.
So according to the Google's AI overview, which we can't trust.
Right.
The Jared Fogel's pants were sold in 2025 by a person who had won them and moved from LA to New York City and needed the money.
So I also looked this up, and the overview told me that his fat pants were removed from public view with reports indicating they were either destroyed, held in evidence, or potentially sold on eBay. I imagine he had multiple pairs of his pants.
Imagine if they got the DNA evidence from his pants.
Oh no! Oh no! Horrible. Okay, so I brought with me some video clips, and one of the video clips is related to this because it does offer a potential reality for what happened to the pants. And it is a clip from the last multimedia experience. Yes, it is this clip right here. It's the last multimedia appearance of Jared Fogel, which is in a 2015's Sharknado 3: Oh Hell No.
I have to tell you, this video is very graphic.
Today we induct another cultural icon, the pants of Jared Fogel of Subway.
By eating fresh at Subway, I'm making healthy habits.
So for the listener, in the clip, Jared Fogel is holding up his pants outside doing a speaking event, and a shark flies through the air and eats the pants.
I think we got our answer to what happened to the pants, fellas.
I think we do.
There ain't some shark.
That's all I got on 2008.
All right, I'm going to cut forward to 2015 to his arrest. Do you have anything else culturally that might be relevant in the meantime?
In the interim, actually, so there is one cultural event that is, I think, very important. So we won't need the video for this one quite yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But what is more interesting is in 2011, Subway released a 4-issue limited series of comic books that were sold in their stores. They're short. They're like 4 pages long each, and they were a collaboration with DC Comics. So it features DC Comics superheroes and supervillains alongside various other pop culture people that were there to represent Subway. Now, the 4th issue of that, which is something of the, Avengers Endgame of the DC Subway comic book universe, features Jared Fogel. And so at the end of the actual issue itself is not particularly remarkable, and there's not really much to say about the story of the issue. However, the very last page of the comic book features Superman shaking Jared Fogel's hand, which has not aged well, given what we know about Jared Fogel.
Imagine Batman bringing Jared Fogel to justice.
They should do a follow-up where Batman beats the shit out of Jared Fogel. Definitely. That would be pretty cool. I'd like that.
I would like to see him play the Joker in the next Batman.
Jared Fogel?
Why so Subway?
Yes. Want to know how I got these subs? So I got to actually go down a little bit of a rabbit hole here because I found some interesting information about this comic book. Okay. So the first issue of the comic book features a football player named Michael Strahan. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, in 2008, Michael Strahan was how do I describe this? He was promoted to be an honorary board member of the Jared Foundation. And so I actually have a quote from him talking about joining the Jared Foundation in 2008. So Strahan was first introduced to Fogel on the set of a Subway restaurant commercial, and since the two have had a camaraderie and common interest in this cause, Strahan will serve as an honorary board member on the Jared Foundation, working with Fogel. To quote Strahan, Jared's personal story of weight loss and the fact that he's kept the weight off for 10 years is amazing, said Strahan. But I'm even more impressed with his commitment to helping fight childhood obesity. That's why I've signed on to work with his foundation. Now, Michael Strahan has since gone on to be a sports commentator after retiring from the NFL, and is a pretty notable public figure. Yeah. I couldn't find any information or any statement released from him about Jared Fogel past this point. And I could not find any information about how long he served on the board of the Jared Foundation.
Straight up, why would you? I feel is a public figure that would only incite like skepticism and like people would be like, wait, this is a conspiracy. Whereas if you just keep it quiet,
release the Jared files.
Yeah, release the Fogel files. The Fogel files.
Absolutely. So the other interesting part about this, which I'm sure you're about to talk about, Beck, is what happened with the Jared Foundation in 2015. And how basically the investigation into Russell Taylor, the director of the Jared Foundation, led to the arrest of Jared himself.
Yes, precisely. Russell Taylor in 2015, Russell Taylor's running the Jared Foundation. He gets arrested at his home on charges of child pornography, child exploitation, and voyeurism. Russell Taylor and his wife, Angela Baldwin, were sexually molesting young girls, and they had cameras around their house filming victims without their knowledge.
Yikes.
Dude, super fucking yikes. Like, their shit is horrible. And so reportedly, like, he was providing Jared with, these videos, and they were trading content back and forth, which is horrifying. And so my question is, hey, Michael Strahan, why didn't you do nothing about that? Except appear in a Subway comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, not funny. But just interesting connections. Interesting connections.
So Taylor got caught. Jared cut all ties, and there's a whole complicated story. But Russell Taylor's story, he gets 27 years in prison, and his wife Angela Baldwin received 33 years in prison. And
did you mention what happened to the Jared Foundation? Because this is a very funny thing. Actually, this is actually funny. So in 2012, the Secretary of State in Indiana dissolved the organization in February 2012 because it did not pay the required $5 annual reporting fees during the 2 previous years, despite being requested to do so on multiple occasions. Wow. So they were shut down because they didn't pay $10.
They were shut down for the price of 2 footlongs, fellas.
Yeah. Wow! Look at that. The sandwiches that Jared ate every day to get thin.
Uh-huh.
They could have kept going.
And in 2015, it was found that the Jared Foundation hadn't actually given any funds or issued grants for helping childhood obesity, according to USA Today.
Wow.
And it only spent $73,000 annually. The majority of it was used to pay Russell Taylor's salary. So it might have just been like a hoax. And somebody did a deep dive on their tax records and found that most of their funds really weren't accounted for. So the whole thing, scam. Reeks of scam.
Yep.
And
totally does.
Russell Taylor went down for child pornography and related charges. What the FBI found on his computer led them to Jared Fogel. And Taylor had traded photos and videos of children as young as 6 years old with Jared Fogel, including images of his stepdaughters, pornographic images. Yike. So Jared gets caught in April of 2015. And then in July, Indiana State Police, they raided Jared Fogel's home. They arrested him for distribution and receipt of child pornography. And the same day, Subway cut all ties, suspending their business relationship and smartly removing all reference to Jared from their website.
They could have done
Even
it how much
they
sooner
knew about him being a creep for at least almost a decade at that point.
Wow.
Yeah,
you hate to see it. You hate to see that.
In this story.
Absolutely.
Not all of you, Subway, but some of you. The sandwich artists, I think they're the innocent ones.
Oh, the sandwich artists have never done a single thing wrong.
None of them. So Jared decides to take a plea agreement with federal prosecutors rather than face trial. So August 2015, he pleads guilty to 2 counts, one for distribution and receipt of child pornography, where he had at least 400 videos of child pornography. And the other charge was for traveling to engage in illicit sexual conduct with a minor. And the context here is Fogel had offered adult sex workers a finder's fee to find him younger sex partners. And he had engaged in sexual acts with a 17-year-old girl and asked her to find him younger sex partners. So he gets sentenced to just over 15 years and 8 months in federal prison and $1.4 million in fines, which comes out to about $100,000 going to each victim. When he eventually gets released, Jared is restricted to only supervised contact or communication with minors. So he can't communicate with minors or be around them at all. unless there's a supervisor around, and it has to be with the approval of his probation officer. And he can only see his kids. He's got 2 children. He has to get consent from the mother. He will also have to register as a sex offender on release and undergo treatment. Now, a psychiatrist for the defense claims that Jared had a food addiction.
This is an interesting point. I was going to bring this up earlier, but I'm glad that you got this. This is a very silly argument, I think, in my opinion. But it is interesting.
Take us there.
All right. So she claimed that he had this like food addiction, so to speak. And when he quit his food addiction, he replaced it with, quote, hypersexuality. Which included mild or weak pedophilia, which is pretty sure all pedophilia is bad.
I'm pretty sure it's all extreme.
There's pedophilia, worse pedophilia.
Like I've only got C tier pedophilia, guys. Like it's not like S tier. It's not that bad. Like, that's not an argument. That's not okay. It's all extreme.
You don't need to grade pedophilia. And the psychiatrist claims that after he lost weight, hypersexuality and alcohol dependence took over, right? And food addiction turning into that, I guess food addictions can exist, but I don't buy the argument. Too extreme. Now, dear listener, this is the important part. We're talking prison stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jared Fogel is incarcerated at the Federal Correctional Institution Englewood outside of Littleton, Colorado. And before he arrived, the inmates got a mandate from the warden. The word from the administration was, hands off, Jared.
Okay. That didn't last though, did it?
No, but we'll get there. And Englewood is a low security prison that has been one of those facilities lumped in as a club fed. They have a gym with weights, they have ellipticals, they have Stairmasters, they have cable weights, they have a bocce ball court, they have a tennis court, a soccer field, horseshoe pits, which is interesting, and that horseshoes could be a weapon.
I feel they could.
Mm-hmm. They have cornhole, they have a baseball field, and the prison offers tablets since 2023 that inmates can use for video visits and excessively priced movies, MP3s, games, and shows. So it is, as far as prisons go, one of the less bad ones. And as Spencer had referenced, in January 2016, early into Jared's sentence, he gets assaulted by another inmate on the recreation yard. And Jared received a bloody nose, neck abrasions, and facial bruising as a result. The attacker got some cuts and bruises in return. Sounds like a more minor scuffle. But according to someone who is uninvolved with the attack, it wasn't the first time Jared had been attacked. And he is a constant target for prison ridicule.
Hell yeah.
Good.
And according to this spokesperson, who's a former inmate, Jared has been slapped around fairly consistently since the beginning of his sentence, and it hasn't been reported. And Jared has been threatened that if he says anything about being roughed up, they'll get to him. He's at the bottom of the prison hierarchy with snitches. He's having a hard time because no one wants to associate with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, naturally.
This same spokesman also says that when Jared arrived, inmates started chanting, "Fuck Jared."
Oh, that's so cool. That actually rocks. Those inmates are cool. Well, maybe not, but that thing they're doing is cool.
Yeah. Well, also, Englewood, where he's located, is notable for its sex offender treatment program, where 75% of the inmates there are child molesters.
So even the sex offenders hate Jared?
Whoa.
Wow.
Dude, that's actually like, holy shit. Wow, what a failure.
I didn't know there was a sex offender stratification, but that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, he's seen as like a loser amongst people who committed the same crime as him.
Right.
An idiot, a loser, and a microphone abuser, if you ask me.
Yes. He's bottom of the barrel. And the same spokesman reported to People magazine that Jared is there with a lot of his own kind and is considered king of the Comos, a term they use in prison for child molesters. He said the other Comos respect him like he's a god or something.
It's Chomo.
Isn't it Chomo?
It's Chomo.
Yeah, it is Chomo. I was reading my writing here and I had written it wrong.
Yeah, Como is a news organization in Seattle.
He's king of the Chomos.
King of the Chomos.
Dog, that is to go from like the Subway guy to king of the Chomos. Like his crimes are horrific. I'm not making light of them, but like, dude, what a fall from grace. That ain't good, dude.
It goes a little further. In 2017, U.S. District Judge Tanya Walton Pratt dismissed a motion filed by Fogel and a fellow inmate, where he tried to claim that the court did not have jurisdiction to convict Jared Fogel because Jared Fogel is a sovereign citizen.
That's so funny.
He belongs to the Commonwealth of Subway.
Dude, sovereign citizens mentioned. Boom! Do like a big explosion or something.
Yeah. What if his country only exists in Subway restaurants?
Right. Yeah. You guys arrested me outside of a Subway, so it actually isn't valid.
Yeah, that's my embassy.
They've covered up my sex crimes for a long time. Subway is like the Israel of the fast food restaurants.
Wow.
All right, what fast food restaurant is what country? Okay, America's McDonald's, obviously.
Yeah, Burger King is like less than America. So Burger King is Canada.
But
Canada's Tim Hortons.
I was just gonna say that.
No. We're talking about American fast food restaurants compared to the rest of the world.
Okay. Taco Bell is Mexico.
Obviously. Subway is France. Subway's France. Because the age of consent laws there are lower.
Oh no! Boo! Boo this man!
I'm abusing that sound effect.
I know it. You are, but it's great. Every time I love it.
Keep it up. Apparently, the Seventh Circuit, where Jared's case is docketed, courts have referred to sovereign citizen arguments as frivolous, shop-worn, and having no conceivable validity in American law. They have also instructed lower courts that sovereign citizen theories should be rejected summarily, however they are presented. So this is to say anyone considering making an argument of being a sovereign citizen, don't. The judge is going to laugh at you. You look so silly. We would get these people in the jail every now and then, and you sound like a fool. If you're like, well, your laws don't apply to me. Shut up.
You're the one in prison.
Yeah, you're still in handcuffs, and I'm still booking you, no matter what you think the laws say. Like, that's
exactly. You can't just do something that's against the law knowingly because you say I am not subject to your law. It doesn't work that way.
So, do we think that Jared Fogel is actually a sovereign citizen, or was he just like, well, might as well try it because I'm in prison forever?
I think it's the spaghetti at the wall school of law there.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. But I do think it would be extremely funny if Jared Fogel did consider himself a true sovereign citizen. Like that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Completely agree. It was so I find it suspect though because it was filed by another inmate, probably like a jailhouse lawyer type, who I imagine it was the spaghetti at the wall of like, I guess it can't hurt, but it does make him look silly in the news.
Very stupid, yes. But I guess he's already king of the Chomos, so it can't get much worse than that.
Right.
So Jared, he wrote a letter to the New York Post from prison in November 2021, claiming he royally screwed up to wind up where I am.
Yeah, no kidding.
He says he was selfish and entitled.
And that's it?
No. In prison, COVID cut out a lot of the programs offered by the prison, so he hasn't had as much to do.
Oh, no.
But he says he's the most healthy he's ever been, which is probably true considering he was eating Subway to get healthy.
Right.
True.
Yeah,
He
like you
works-
think the Subway diet works? Like try the prison food diet.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like barely enough calories, and it's mostly carbs. It's largely like very cheap foods, like scalloped potatoes. So Jared now works out regularly, and he runs 4 to 5 miles every day while he's behind bars. He's down to a slim, trim 180 pounds, and according to his letter, he tries to avoid junk food behind bars. So he eats granola bars, nuts, and protein bars. He watches a lot of college and NFL football. He reads a lot of books and the New York Times every day. He still loves to laugh and smile. And he says, I really miss the small things like walking barefoot on carpet, sleeping on a nice, comfy mattress, eating with real silverware, having access to a microwave. All I can do is learn from my stupid mistakes to be a better man when I get released in a few years. And he thinks about all the people he's let down every day, especially his family. And he is inspired by a line from the Shawshank Redemption. Jared says, something you can either get busy living or get busy dying when you are sent to prison. I've done everything I can to get busy living and making the most of this unwanted experience.
Last time I checked, Jared, you don't need proper silverware to eat a sub sandwich from Subway.
Very true. Very true. And you don't need a microwave either.
Wouldn't that be funny if he was like a weirdo who would eat a sub sandwich with a knife and fork? I could see him doing
Or
that.
you get like a cold sub and microwave it.
Yeah. Dude, microwaved Subway mayonnaise just sounds like the worst thing in the world. I can't think of anything worse than that.
That sounds like a slam metal song title.
Yeah.
No, I do want to point out Jared has had some jobs while he's in prison, including kitchen duty, where he made and served sandwiches to his fellow inmates.
So
It all
you've become
comes
a sandwich
around.
artist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He's gone to the other side of the subway. And I do not want to touch on how the New York Post sensitively addressed his conviction and incarceration initially. But do either of you have any guesses on what the headline was when Jared was
Oh no.
convicted?
No, I don't know. I got nothing.
Try it. Go for it. What is it?
In 2015, the cover, one day the cover of the New York Post read, "Enjoy a foot long in jail."
Oh no. No. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yikes. So question.
Yeah. Hit me.
Okay. I know this is a terrible question to ask, but would you eat one of the Jared sandwiches that he made in prison?
For novelty, sure. I eat a lot of prison cafeteria food.
Okay. Okay.
The cafeteria food that is specifically meant for workers at a prison, good. Cafeteria food that's meant for inmates, very bad. Would not.
Is it
touch that.
all made by inmates?
It is largely made by inmates. It's often supervised by a food contractor like an Aramark,
Okay.
but it is largely like assembled by inmates. And there's some good cooks in there. It's not necessarily who's making it. It's more about what it is. And most of it is crap if it's being fed to inmates. I think most of the time it's like around $1 per meal that is allocated per
is
inmates.
rough.
And you're trying to satisfy the
but
2,000 calories a day.
Yeah, there's some states that spend as little as like 46 cents per meal on
Yeah.
inmates, which is like terrible.
You know, speaking of which, like a long time ago, a couple years ago, I found this Instagram page that was like claiming to be a guy that was in prison for life. And he only posted like a couple times a year because like he kept like losing the phones that he had or whatever.
Right.
And then getting it back. And so he would only post a couple of times a year. But the most interesting post that he made, and the post that sticks with me, I still think about this, is he posted his Christmas dinner from the last few years and like what they looked like. And like they were like all looked bad, but like the quality like between years like went down so significantly. It was like really depressing. I was like, God damn, that's bleak. So yeah, seems rough in there.
It does. And Jared is not eligible for parole. There is no parole in the federal prison system, and you have to serve at least 85% of your sentence. And Jared will likely be released after about 14 years of his sentence with good time, with his release scheduled for March of 2029.
Wow.
So
Damn.
give it to me. Give me your final thoughts. Jared Fogel, what's our takes?
Awful person, weirdly outsized cultural impact.
Totally. Yes.
But like will die with our generation. Like I would be shocked if, Gen Alpha knows who Jared Fogel is or will ever.
I plan on teaching my son.
Is your son still Gen Alpha, or is your son like the new gen, whatever that is? Because aren't Gen Alpha kids like 12?
Yeah. He's the unnamed generation that I think is
the silent generation.
2025. Yeah, I think it's Gen Beta is what they're calling them.
Oh, that's rough. Don't call them that.
Yeah, that's real rough. At least call them Gen Sigma or something. Like.
Yeah. The Gen Ligma, actually. So Jared Fogel is an awful person. But I think I have a good place for us to leave the discussion. When we're ready to do that, I brought a clip with me of one of Jared Fogel's rare, admittedly, media appearances. And this was a cameo that he had in the 2011 Adam Sandler film, Jack and Jill.
Really, it's fascinating. How does it work, Mr. Subway Sandwich? Tell me more.
Just Jared's fine.
Call you Jared? Okay, sure. Just 10 sandwiches a day. To me, that seems too much, almost like a job. I couldn't do that.
I don't need that many.
No? Okay. Here's the situation. You're here. There's not a Subway in sight. You're at a steakhouse like this. What do you eat?
I eat other things.
Oh, you do? You do? I knew you were cheating. That's why there's so much goo left on you. I miss the old Jared, the 400-pound Jared that scared us.
I don't miss that one at all.
Well, I'm sure you don't, but if he was around, he'd be with me and not with the two hookers.
So that's it. Terrible scene that is not funny like the rest of that movie, but Jared's there. But I feel like that
Excuse me. The rest of that movie's not funny. You're talking about the movie with Al Pacino, Dunkachino. Like, we agree to disagree. We'll talk later.
But
I'll argue that Dunkachino is iconic, and I think it rules. Jared Fogel is he's not an actor, and he's incredibly awkward on camera.
And the scene isn't funny. There's nothing visual even, I feel like, to describe about the scene. They're just having a conversation. So the audio, I think, tells the whole story. But I think that scene's pretty indicative of Jared Fogel's impact on culture. He brings nothing to this scene, just like he brought pretty much nothing to culture except for a gimmick for Subway to sell more sandwiches. Mm-hmm. And then he committed some awful acts. And hopefully we never hear from him again.
Yeah, he's a pedophile Ronald McDonald.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's rough.
The one thing I would like to see from Jared Fogel, I would like to see where his pants turn up. I am curious.
I would like to know about the pants as well. Yeah, just for the cultural sickness that I have, that I need to know about these things. Mm-hmm. What happened to the pants? I'd like to know. But
okay, let me ask you both. Final question here. If you were gifted a pair of Jared's pants, would you put them in like a shadow box and put them on your wall?
I would just use them I'd just use them as curtains for my window here. I just put the belt loops up in the curtain rod and
that'd be so short for like a 5'10" man or whatever.
Speaking of the pants, so real quick, I was looking at some information about looking up some information about the comic book that I mentioned earlier, and that led me to a Reddit thread where users were discussing the comic book, and one of the users said that Jared Fogel came to their school around 2010 or 2011 and did a speech about like eating healthy and things like that, and he brought the pants with him. So apparently the pants weren't retired in 2008 like he allegedly was going to. But by that point, apparently he still had them. And that's assuming that what this user said is true. But what the user said was that Jared held up the pants and said that he could, quote, fit a few of us kids in there. Which I hate to hear. So maybe it's for the best that if he doesn't have the pants anymore, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah. And especially considering what, like, we only heard a lot of like what he was attempting to do in trying to arrange sex with younger people and
with children.
I assume that
with children.
With children. Thank you. And I wonder if he carried it out. Like I assume that he probably
definitely did.
So in the audio tapes played on that Dr. Phillips, so the audio tapes that they captured during the FBI investigation, he explicitly states that yes, he explicitly states the things he has done with children, and
so he got
it's bad. Yeah, he really did.
His sentence is so light.
He should never see freedom again.
No, he's a child rapist and a monster.
A true monster, yes. Awful.
Jared, we hope you never get to eat Subway again.
Yeah. Well said.
Any last thoughts on Jared Fogel?
No.
Yeah. All right, Jared, see you in 2029 when you're out.
All right, I guess that's that. Before we get to our favorite part, I think we should give a shout out to our very favorite sponsor.
Who is that sponsor?
That's Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies.
Hot dog. We love you, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies.
We certainly do.
What kind of programs do they have?
Oh, gosh, they have so many programs. They have programs in public management, cyber specialism, digital forensics, forensic science, cybersecurity and networking, legal studies, cloud computing, public administration, sociology and anthropology. We got criminal justice, and of course, they got a degree.
Ship. Tight. Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies, thank you for your patronage. We salute you.
We certainly do. And with that, is it time for our favorite part of the podcast?
Yes, I think it is. Let's play a movie minute.
Movie minute. Movie minute. 60 seconds with producer Brit to talk about movies.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Crime 101 is a crime thriller, big surprise, from 2026, written and directed by Bart Layton, best known for his documentaries The Imposter and American Animals, and based on a Don Winslow novella. The film has a stacked cast starring Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, Halle Berry, and Nick Nolte. The film follows professional jewel thief James Davis, as played by Chris Hemsworth, as he takes what might be his final gigs from a professional fencer named Money, played by an incredibly decrepit Nick Nolte. When Davis shows some resistance to a questionable job, Money brings in Ormond, as played by Barry Keoghan, who is a violent criminal who ends up sullying Davis's reputation. Trying to follow all this is LAPD detective Lubenznik, as played by Mark Ruffalo. Eventually, insurance agent to the rich Sharon Combs, as played by Halle Berry, is added to the mix of an elaborate heist, and the dominoes begin to fall. I really enjoyed this movie. There was nothing about it that set it that far apart from other modern crime thrillers, but the acting, pacing, and sleek production elevated the film pretty far beyond what I was expecting of an Amazon original, especially after the slop they've been putting out like War of the Worlds from last year. Overall, it was a fun little caper that I'd recommend to most folks looking for an exciting modern thriller. 3.5 out of 5 soups. And that was Crime 101.
All right, let's take us out of here. Spencer, at the end of the night, you're talking to your light switch.
What do I say?
Turn it off.
I say, Lights out!
Lights out! Lights out!